Well, I'm Larry Pettinelli, and I manage the U.S. market. I'm the president of the Henry Stern Watch Agency, which is the sole service and distribution network in the United States of America. I've been with the Sterns now 27 years in August, and I actually started when Henry Stern, Mr. Henry Stern, was running the company, or just passed it to Mr. Philippe Stern. And so I've worked with three generations out of four. And it's really a wonderful experience because the family nature of the Sterns is infused throughout the entire company. They care about the product, hands-on at every level. Manufacturing, as far as commercial, also servicing is extremely important because they have a dedication to maintaining these pieces for the next 150, 170 years. We can repair any watch that we've ever made back to 1839. And I think, I'm not sure many other companies could do that because they don't have certainly the record keeping that we have in the archives, but they also, it's a very expensive process to maintain parts and to hand make old parts. And I think that's where the Stearns family ownership makes a difference. It's not a commercially viable financial windfall to do that kind of thing. But when you have a tagline that you're taking care of the watch for the next generation, you really need to be prepared to take care of it. So on our side, we really want to make sure that people feel comfortable when they buy a watch today, it will be able to be serviced forever. Thierry is wonderful, and his father was Mr. Stern. Both Sterns are very good at designing. They have a very good eye, and they understand what the collectors are looking for as far as DNA of Patek Philippe. It has to have that common thread throughout, and I think Thierry's wife Sandrine, who's head of the R&D and creation department, effectively they get together as a family, and she's very good at creating ladies' watches and input on men's watches, and Thierry generally focuses on the men's watches, which gives us a very nice balance because a lot of times in the olden days the men's watches were just actually shrunk down to create a ladies' piece. And now we actually have a woman involved in the creation, and there's a much more feminine, let's say, bend from the start. Mr. Stern, when he creates these watches, literally likes to surprise us every once in a while. This piece in particular was derived from two pieces that are in the museum, inspired by two, from 1936. And it is a travel time pilot's watch, so the look is very vintage. The wonderful blue dial is effectively mimicking the technical dials of the cockpit, and it has some beautiful pushers that have a patent pending on them. So the look is very vintage, but we have very high-tech new technology. This is a system that is a locking system to make certain that the push pins are not engaged accidentally, and also we have a water resistancy feature because it locks down and screws down tight on a gasket. The strap and the buckle are actually inspired by some of the features on the pilot's jackets and some of the straps that were involved in the cockpit. The luminescent hands are a C3 green luminescence, which is also a very vintage feel. They're painted over a white gold actual numeral. Most other pilot watches are painted directly on the dial. So this gives it some nice depth off of the dial. So this particular timepiece is in rose gold. It's a very, very complex system utilized to show the celestial charts in Northern Hemisphere. We get a very deep, rich layering effect. There are four sapphire crystal plates that we use to create this star chart. The first layer is the moon phase. The second layer is the black night sky in the background. In the third layer, we have a very clear sapphire crystal where we painted the white stars, 7 different size stars to show the least bright to the brightest. And then the fourth is the aperture showing the northern hemisphere sky. And as the disc turns, you'll see those stars change throughout the night. So it's an extremely wonderful piece, very limited. Of course, they take between 1.5 years to 2 years to manufacture. And again, the collectors like them because it is unique and they are very complex. The independent nature of the Stern family allows us to vertically integrate as much as possible. They're not dependent financially or from a production standpoint on other people. So they can make choices that really aren't impacted by shareholders. And so when for instance, Thierry wants to create a special piece that he feels is unusual, he can do that without wondering, is it a huge windfall? So I think going forward, we do have wonderful new pieces that I think the goal is to try to re-energize younger people and get that next generation on board. I think introducing watches to 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds, whether they can afford them right now or not, is not really the issue. It's more about the branding and to let them understand the culture of Patek Philippe, get them interested in watches, and hopefully, even if they come in at let's say a modestly priced watch, eventually, if they get involved with watches and they get used to having them on their wrist, they are going to work their way up to Patek Philippe.